It's a short video on Assignment 2 in CAD Graphics. Assignment 2 is a line weights, line type, and layering exercise. What we're going to do is create a layer for every one of the different line types used in technical graphics, and you're going to set up that layer so that you get the right line type and the right line weight. You have two line weights, thick and thin. We'll use 0.25 for thin lines, which is the default in AutoCAD, and 0.5 for thick lines. In each case, you'll draw the line a specified number of inches, and then I'd like you to calculate a metric value by multiplying the value in inches times 25.4. Assignment requires that you have the layers. It tells you what the layer names have to be. It tells you what the color of each layer has to be. It tells you the line type of each layer, and it tells you the line weight. Also tells you that the first line has to be drawn starting at 0, 0, and then all the other lines will be 0.75 units above that line, making them all the lengths shown. Make a style, a text style called Roman S, then calculate the length, put that in there using the dtext command, so you've had the name and the length, and then save your drawing with your first initial, your last initial, the number 2, and put it on your S drive in a folder called AEDD-105 in the grade folder, unless your instructor has indicated a different way to turn in your work. So we're going to flip back over to AutoCAD. While I'm in AutoCAD, I'm going to do what it says, which is to start a new drawing. If I go to the new drawing icon right here, it asks me to select a template. Because this is an imperial drawing, we'll select the ACAD.dwt template. Double click on it. It opens up like this. Just get that out of the way. Now I'm going to go up here to the ribbon where we've got our layer commands. And I'm going to select that button right there. Moving my command line up first. You can type in layer if you want. It'll open up the same thing. Now I don't have any layers right now. The couple ways I can do this, I can just click that multiple times until I have the right number of layers and then go back and change everything about them. Or I can start by saying layer 1 is going to be the center line layer. If I flip back to the handout, it'll show me that the center line layer is going to be called center, color blue, line type center 2, and we're going to leave the default line weight set. So got center now. I'll go to the little color swatch, pick it, pick blue, pick OK. Now I need to scroll over here a little bit, pick continuous. I don't have any other line types but continuous loaded, so I need to load a line type. Pick the button, check to make sure that it's looking in the acad.lin file, which is the imperial version of line types, as opposed to metric, which would be called acad.iso.lin. I'll just scroll down to center 2, not center times 2, but center 2. Pick OK. Now I have to select it to assign that line type to that layer. I'll go back and pick, I think I'll leave this one. What will happen is this. I'm going to make a new layer while that's highlighted. And when I do, the new layer will have the same characteristics as that one. Because the chain layer requires a center 2 line type, I'm just going to leave it that way. Type the new name. Change the color from blue to cyan, because that's what the handout says. Otherwise, we're going to leave everything the way that it is. Now, rather than go through all of these, that's the standard practice, the standard way you're going to be doing it. The one last thing I need to change here, and I'll use my scroll bar to go back and forth. So let's just open that up a little longer. I'm going to use my scroll bar to go back and forth unless I want to make the whole window a little bit longer. Now, line weight, select it. Instead of the default line weight, which is 0.25, I'm going to scroll down here, pick 0.50 millimeters, not 0.05, but 0.50. It shows me a thick line. Now those have already been set. I don't have to save or anything. This is a modeless dialog box, which means that the minute you make a change, it gets incorporated into the drawing. But I am going to turn this off just to get rid of it. Now, flipping back to the sheet again, it shows me that the center line is the first line. It's 10 units long. The chain line is the next one. It's 9.313. We'll start with the center line. So I'm in AutoCAD. I'll go to the drop-down layer list, select center. Now I want to draw a line. I can either type the word line or pick that little icon right there. Either one will do the same thing. Start at 0, 0. Press enter. Go down until I get my tracking line. Type in a 10. And I now have a center line that is blue sitting right there starting at 0, 0. Now I'm going to draw another line. This one will be on the chain layer. So I'll change layers. Draw the line again. This time I type the letter L. Hover over the endpoint of the center line and go straight up and type 0.75. That will start it 3/4 of an inch above the other line. Get the tracking line. 9.313 was the overall length of that line. Press enter, and now I have a chain line. Chain line's difference between a center line is simply line weight. To see the line weights, I'm going to go down to the bottom of the screen. There's an icon right there called Show and Hide Line Weight. When I pick it, now I'll see a thick line that's cyan and a thin line that's blue. We go back to the handout once again. The handout now indicates that we need to put those distances here using dtext. In order to do that, I need to use the style command to create a text style and then place it with the dtext command. By the way, you have to do the other layers, of course. So I'm back here now. Zoom out just a little bit. I'm going to type ST for style. It'll open up the text style dialog box. And I am going to make a text style based on Roman S. So I'll start by picking the New button. I'll call the text style Roman S. I'll say OK. Naming that text style Roman S doesn't change the way it looks. Right now it looks like this. It's based on the Arial font. I'm going to change the Arial font to the Roman S font by typing an R and having it go down. Here, Roman S.SHX is what I want. Now the Roman S style is based on the Roman S font. I'll make it annotative. We'll talk about what that means later on. I'll apply that to the drawing after setting it current. Close. Now I can start putting in text. If I look back at the handout, the word center is going to be right here. Then the number 10 is going to be here. And then beside it, I'm going to put in the decimal equivalent. The metric equivalent. The command for placing text is DT for dtext. It's also possible to go to the Annotate tab on the ribbon. We've got two ways of placing text, multi-line text or single-line text. Since we're doing single line here, I'll pick that. At the command line, I would type DT for display text. Because we made the text annotative, at the time you first placed it, it asks you what scale you expect to plot the drawing. In this particular case, we're going to be plotting it at 1:1 scale, so I'll just pick OK. Now it asks me for my start point. I'll just pick a point directly above that line. We'll make the height of 0.12. That's standard text height, and rotation angle of 0. Now I can type in the word center. And I'm going to move over a little bit, type 10.000, and then I'm going to put the metric equivalent beside it. They're 25.4 millimeters in an inch, so they're 254 millimeters in 10 inches. Now I'm going to change my text so it's on the same layer as the line by selecting it, going to the drop down, and then selecting center. I'd like the text to be on the same layer as the line that it represents. Now we have the chain line above. I'll do the same thing. Dtext, hover, acquire that point, and then go straight up. I'm just going to go up a little ways, like so. I use the same height, 0.12, so I just press enter. This is now a chain line. Come over here and type in the value, 9.313. 9.313, and then I'd like the metric equivalent, which would be found by multiplying 9.313 times 25.4.